Hello and welcome to episode 53 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we pick a random movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list. This is Colin.
And this is Niall.
And this is random movie number 2090, a movie called Hermia and Helena from 2016. Runs for 1 hour and 27 minutes. It's got a Metascore of 79 and a user score of TBD. It's sort of an Argentinian/American movie. It's written and directed by one Matías Piñeiro. He has a couple of movies under his belt, not really marking above 50 or 60 in Metacritic or IMDb.
And I'm surprised.
Are you?
No, I am not.
The summary for it on Metacritic is longer than the actual movie. So the summary is a young Argentinian director travels from Buenos Aires to New York for an artist residency to work on a new Spanish translation of Shakespeare's Midsummer's Night Dream, which we never get to see. Upon her arrival, she quickly realizes that her work isn't compensating for the loss of her friends, which we don't really see that either because we don't really see that she has any friends in Argentina, and the lover she left behind. Whatever. When she begins to receive a series of mysterious postcards from Danielle, who shows up for 1 second of the movie and then disappears again. A former participant in the same residency, Camilla second guesses her artistic endeavors and begins to seek answers about her past. None of these things are true in this summary.
Yeah, like her artistic endeavors is translating a book, a Midsummer's Night's Dream. That confused me because at this point in history, I'm sure it's been translated before. What's the point?
Yeah, maybe not edited or mutated by an idiot, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see why a classic needs to be re-translated over and over and over again. It's already translated. Leave it alone, you jerks.
And not that it doesn't even matter. It really doesn't even matter because the most in-depth sort of insight into this process of her translating things is her cutting out pages from the English version of Midsummer's Night Dream into her notebook.
That annoyed me as well. I have respect for books, even old books. Don't rip effing pages out of an effing book, you effing effort.
You can say these F words. You deserve it after sitting through this.
She's our fucking wench. Don't rip up a book, goddammit.
Yeah.
The book is worth more than she is.
All right. We start off the movie with a woman called Carmen. Now, to be honest with you, actually, the opening shots of the movie are quite interesting, but it slowly just dissipates from there because it's sort of a POV from the balcony looking down on Columbus Park, I believe, in New York City. That's kind of interesting, weaving between, and I'm guessing they didn't get permission for any of the people in the movie. They're just the public at large in New York are in a movie that they don't know anything about, basically.
They should sue.
They should sue, and they should become bankrupt. So it starts off, and then it's Carmen and this bloke called Lucas, and they're obviously had a fling. She's leaving the residency. She's leaving the residency to go back to Argentina. To cut a long story short, she comes home to Argentina while her friend Camilla, right? Yeah, that's her name.
Camilla, yeah.
Leaves to go back to the residency. Carmen's like going, I was worthless. I never finished my project. Did you, it's something about a gift at the start. There was a thread throughout the entire movie of people giving gifts. And now I was looking up today, just let me get this vitriol out first. I was looking up today a Midsummer Night's Dream plot, and I got it summarized from my friend GPT, and there's nothing about gifts. I just thought it was so stupid and idiotic and sort of contrived and out of the blue. Every fucking scene, it seemed like, I've got a gift for such and such. Can you bring this to them? I thought it felt very Shakespearean in a sense that it was stupid, because Shakespeare has a couple of stupid things. Like, I'm not going to be one of these people that goes, Shakespeare's amazing. Like, yes, I recognize his genius of stuff, but the plot devices have aged over 700 years or whatever.
But this stupid plot device isn't even a classical stupid plot device. It is just straight up stupid. It has no bearing on the story. It has no interesting like you look at a plot device like Tarantino's suitcase in Pulp
Which we always
Fiction.
bring up.
Because it is an amazing plot device. It doesn't
Yeah.
make much sense to the story. It doesn't really matter, but it's so interesting. This one, it's just mundane and pointless.
I think if you're listening to the first 5 minutes of this episode, we hated this movie so much.
Oh, God.
Nothing happens in the movie.
In the year and a bit we've been doing this, this is by far the worst hour and a half I've spent watching movies by a long way. Like it's not even close. Like I think we were talking before, movie 43 was not one of our favorite movies, but now we can look back fondly upon it and think, maybe it's not so bad.
Yeah, and so I'm looking at our list of movies we've done. My lowest rated movie is My Baby's Daddy, and I gave it
that was shocking.
3125. But I can look back and go, the talking baby scene, I'll remember that as being a terrible, weird scene, but at least it's a scene.
And there's an arc. That's the bit that really grinds my effing gears in this one. There is no arc. There's no redemption arc. There's no challenge. There's no conflict. There's no interesting dialogue. It's just flat the whole way. Nothing happens of import other than some person ends whatever the hell they're doing and somebody else starts doing whatever the hell they're bloody doing.
But so I think these indie directors need to understand you can't have a dialogue of nothing where I can't even remember the dialogue, but I remember that there was lots of dialogue about nothing and it wasn't interesting. There was a lot of dialogues about, oh, is that the gift? Oh, here's the new gift. Oh, I framed the gift. Oh, take this gift and this is the gift to the other person.
Didn't you get the gift? I sent you a text message about the gift. You're going to have to leave a gift for the Institute. The Institute needs a gift. Fuck the Institute. Fuck you, Lucas, you fucking fuck.
They should all be in a fucking institution, not
they
an
should.
institute.
It's certainly not an artistic institute. It's a something with a large gate and a very big wall. That's all I need. I don't care what's inside, as long as they're kept in there.
So one of the other things, and I haven't mentioned this to you, but I'm sure your hatred is as high as mine. But when she goes to New York City from Buenos Aires, there's a very artistic transition.
The overlay
from the Buenos Aires skyline to the bridges of New York. And it goes for it goes for a minute. But but this is the first time they play this fucking Western bar saloon piano.
See, it was the overlay that wrecked my head in that one. The music annoyed me, but the overlay made no sense, and it went on for, as you said, a minute.
But all scenes went on for a minute.
5 seconds would have been like, yeah, okay, I know what you're doing. That's enough.
There were so many. There were so many scenes where she was walking from one part of a city to one part of the street to another, and it just kept going. And he'd cut to a close up of a fucking lamppost or something just because it's artsy.
The lamppost was the most interesting part of the movie.
Great lamppost.
It was.
Nice
actually, I wrote down somewhere the train was the most interesting part of this movie. Where is this? Somewhere anyway.
Which train?
When she gets a train from her Horace's house.
Yeah. Fuck.
Waiting for the train was the most interesting part of this bloody movie.
I didn't even know who Horace was she was going to see because I'd lost interest in who she.
To be honest, I'm surprised you didn't sleep with him. It felt like it was going that way.
It was a fucking terrible scene as well. It was so wrong and so pointless and so boring. It's her father. They have this 20 questions game.
Christ on a bike. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm trying to follow the plot line here because.
Do you believe in genetics?
Kinda.
Kinda, yeah. What? Why is that? What? Why would you ask your dad that? What? Shut up.
Somebody called that scene on IMDb review overly touching or sentimental.
What?
Yeah.
Sentimental, touching,
that's
mundane, weird, unbelievable, and just poor.
Carmen's in New York at this point. at the start of the movie. I tell you what, everything she did annoyed me. You know that the trope where somebody is Skyping with somebody and then instead of clicking the off button, just closes the lid on the laptop.
Yeah, that annoyed me as well. Close the application down, god damn it.
Dopey fucking whatever. So she's setting up shop. Now, I'm just mentioning this in a timeline of a plot. There is no plot. I'm just mentioning it this so I can remember the horrible shit. So I have she starts off translating this Midsummer Night's Dream, but we don't really get into the mechanics of it. The gift giving conversation just keeps on coming up, and this thing happens now pretty early. She opens the letterbox and she gets a postcard from somebody called Daniela going to the other girl, Camilla, whatever her name is. I'm coming. I'm in Montana. I'm 4 states away. See you soon. Yeah. So every 5 minutes, she gets another postcard, and she buys a map then because she's so infatuated by Daniela.
But before that, I want to mention something about that very scene. About 3 seconds after she gets that damn postcard, she goes up the stairs, and it stops, and the camera focuses on the banister.
Oh yeah,
a picture out of the Midsummer whatever book, whatever English version of that, it slaps up on the screen, and it sits there for 15 seconds.
Yeah,
this is my first curse in my notes right there.
Yes,
and then it just gets more frequent after that.
Yeah, there's a common thread then of the director going, I'm going to put visuals on top, like the partnerships of the names, and but they didn't even make any sense to me. I didn't know who the fuck Sergio was and whatever.
Did not care all that much.
Care. Yeah, so she's lying in bed in one of the scenes as well after the banister, amazing Oscar-winning shot of a banister, where she's lying in bed, and there's an
banister.
Yeah, there's an overlay.
Best supporting banister.
Roger Bannister. She's lying in bed, and there's another overlay of shaking and sound from rehearsals. So this is the part where the director. This is the part where the director went, okay, so I'm gonna just overlay the sounds of rehearsals of doing that Midsummer's Night Dream or saying quotes from it just to sort of show that she's working on it in an overlay. All right, great. Let's move to the next thing. I'm great. I'm a great director.
Oh, this is so highbrow.
And there's another.
Oh my
God.
God.
But it's another stupid scene. Well, every scene is stupid. So we can just list out all the scenes. The next scene, which has no meaning in the plot whatsoever, she's giving Spanish lessons to a Korean dude.
Yeah.
That's $300, please.
How much does it cost to take Spanish lessons? Dear God.
But he's handing over the cash and saying some stupid, boring conversation that has no relevance to anything, and then
do you like maps?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Do you like maps, love? Do you fancy some of my maps? It was shockingly bad.
You're like a map because I like to read your face. He doesn't say that, but
no, that would have been far more interesting.
I've got
do you like maps?
Do you like maps, love? Yes, get out. Give me $300. Get the hell out. We never see the Korean guy again. I think she killed him.
That's because he couldn't find his way back because he didn't have his maps anymore. Oh, shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The next line I have is, Lucas is a rocker idiot.
Oh, Christ.
This is it. Yeah, he's sitting with her, and she goes, "Oh, what do you do? Or were you a fellow here? Oh, I'm a musician. Oh, what music do you like? Rock. I play in a band. Well, not really. Can you come and be my assistant? I'm recording somebody tomorrow."
Oh, yeah, that just flat.
This is the height of the drama in this movie.
Is it?
The next scene, she's sitting outside, and some overlaid words come out from the book as well, which is obviously what the director thought was going to be amazing. We then cut to the guy who's guilty of all these fucking Western bar saloon piano things. Think of this. That was played over all the segue scenes in this movie, and it has nothing to do with
anything.
New York, nothing to do with city life, nothing to do with a love rectangle that this silly person is on. Nothing. It was so jarring and so unnecessary. Anyway, she was needed. I don't know why she was an assistant. He was holding the microphone to the guy on piano. Why did she? He was obviously just going, "Oh, I want to bring her to music."
That was pretty much it. But yeah, like, what's that got to do with him being a rock musician? And who says I'm a rock musician?
I'm a rocker.
Like,
You know what? After so, the next scene where she's leaving them, she says, "I'm going home now." That's a line in this movie.
Oh, the dialogue is Tarantino-esque, isn't it?
Danielle shows up the next scene after sending 7 postcards. Yeah, she doesn't want to. They're sitting in her car. It's shit dialogue.
Yeah, she follows her around a park for a few minutes. And I was thinking, I had some weird hope here that something interesting might happen. Like,
what were you hoping?
I don't know. Like she was going to kill somebody or something. A bit of murder. Lighten the place up a bit, you know. Moida. It's Moida, I tell you. No, nothing interesting happens. They have a boring conversation about the fact that they have the same friend. And she's been posting cards to an address where her old friend doesn't live anymore. Yeah. Super exciting.
Danielle is like, all right, I'm over Carmen. Let's burn the postcards. Yay. So they burn the postcards. I thought they might have set the apartment on fire or something.
That would have been great.
Yeah, but she stays and then she leaves
with them in it.
Screaming in agony.
I would pay to watch that.
Like the end scene of Glorious Bastards.
Exactly, yeah. That's justice.
Instead of a room full of Nazis, it's a room full of 2 artistic, annoying women. Let's see what else happens. The piano saloon bar montage plays over this as well. The burning of the postcard.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the next scene, Lucas brings the gift that's framed. That Camilla. See, Camilla left New York and left a stupid gift. So she made Carmen go to New York with a bigger gift of a photoshopped piece of shit. And Lucas went and got it framed. And now he's bringing the gift to Carmen.
So yeah, that was the weird thing. Like, why not just print it out in New York instead of carting it from Buenos Aires?
Yeah. I think it's Camilla in New York right now. It's Carmen that left, right? I don't fucking know.
I kind of interposed them. They were both annoying. They're
but here's the first. So this is the moment of the movie where lots of abrupt turns happen. So Camilla, I'm just going to pretend it's Camilla now in New York. Carmen's back home in Argentina doing I don't know what.
Yeah,
Camilla, this having shown no interest in Lucas, starts stroking his hair.
Yes. This actually, and just before we jump onto this point, strewn throughout this movie is flashbacks.
Well, this happens after this scene, the flashback.
Oh, does it? The first flashback, is it?
Yeah, it goes 1 month before.
Yeah, it's exposition that doesn't expose anything.
Yeah. So in this 1 month before gift, you don't really want to go back. Like as a viewer, you're going, just keep me in New York City for God's sake. I don't want to go back.
The end as quick as possible.
Yeah. So in this flashback, we find out, okay, there's an old flame that Camilla has called Greg, and we'll get to him soon because that's one of the lowest points in cinema history. And then when she's 1 month before, somebody says, "Take this gift to Greg."
Yeah.
And this is not the last. This is not the last part of the movie where a gift has been said. Hey, bring this gift to this person, will you?
And it's a meaningless motif in the movie. I don't get it. Maybe I'm not smart enough. I don't want to be in a world where I get what the hell that means.
Yeah,
why it's in it.
I would have loved if it was just a box of dog shit and she brought it to New York.
Slap it in his face. There we go.
There you go.
Take that, Greg.
This is from whoever gave this to me. I don't know who it was in the movie. So she goes back to New York now, and now there's a montage of her looking for Greg. And quickly she finds him. And he goes, "Oh," and they go, "Oh," and they're all like, "Let's live together forever."
before we get that, there's another thing that annoyed me.
Oh.
She went to his first address, or the address that she had for him, and he wasn't there anymore. But the guy there said, "Oh, he works in the library," or some such nonsense. Anyway, she goes to stands outside the library, phones the library, and he's like, "Oh, he's not coming in today." And she's like, "Oh, I'm his friend. Can I have his phone number?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, sure." No, that doesn't happen.
So then,
give out personal details, you gimps.
In this universe, so they meet on a park bench and they love each other and say, "Let's live in the forests." And so she lays his head on his shoulder and he says something.
Let's not catch up. Let's just pretend that we've continued on.
Yeah, and so she kind of daydreams, and he says, "Oh, I made a movie," and then we segue into his movie.
Oh God!
This is when I played the movie on 2x speed.
It was so bad. This movie.
It was a black and white movie of just some bullshit wartime reenactment, and I'm very happy that I did speed through it.
Greg's movie. I wrote down, "Get fucked, you pretentious. See you next Tuesday."
So now here's the next abrupt 90-degree turn. She abruptly just lifts her head off his shoulder and goes, "Yeah, I'm going. I hate you. I'm not. I don't want to be with you. Bye," and runs away.
Then she's off snogging Lucas about 2 seconds later.
Yeah, it goes back to Lucas and
with no real.
She's with Lucas now.
Yeah, but then Lucas she's not with Lucas again.
Yeah, so then we go to another flashback 2 months before. I don't care. I don't care enough to go back 2 months before. You pretentious twat.
Blah, blah. That's what I got. Then some lad called Dave turns up. They have a cup of coffee to get a lift. Go to.
Oh, no, hang on. Wait. I want to talk about the flashback.
Do we have to?
Because it's. I think it's Camilla's sister, and she's like going, "Give this gift to your dad."
Yeah.
Or to dad.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. I didn't write anything about it because I can't.
Well, I didn't know what she was talking about. So then in the next scene, as you rightfully said, some dude shows up and goes, "Yeah, I can drive down there. It's going to take 2 hours." And then she's going to see her long lost dad, who her mum basically said, "Yeah, I hooked up with him in Australia or something." But I love the fact that halfway through the car ride, they go to a cafeteria, a diner, and we just get a close up of that dude eating a donut.
Yeah, but that.
Don't reason. It's art. There's no reason.
It was a very nice looking donut, I'll have to admit.
I was just waiting for him to say something philosophical, like, life is like a donut sometimes. It's got a big hole in the middle.
And it's got a big hole in the middle.
Yeah. But he doesn't say anything. Then he just drops her off and goes, "Yeah, I think it's down there." How do you know?
Bye-bye.
And drops her off. But then she takes the train back after all this, so why did you bloody take a fucking car?
Poor Dave had to drive for 2 hours.
Yeah. Here's another annoying thing. She gets to this house. This is her dad. And he calls her. She calls him, and he goes, "Oh, did you not get my email? I'm in New York City." "Oh, no, I did not get your email." "Okay, wait there for 2 hours. Here, the key is in the shed, and I'll be there in 2 hours."
Yeah, I don't know what that adds to the movie.
Nothing. Nothing adds nothing.
It fills about 5 to 10 minutes of mundane existence.
Yeah,
she's sitting around, looking around. She walks up the road.
Yeah,
then
she goes to the store. We get a minute of her walking to a store. And that's it. There's no reason behind it. She doesn't meet anybody there or any local that goes, "Oh, yeah, I know that. Your dad. Oh, that's your dad. Okay. Well, he's a great guy. He donated so much to my son's charity." Because this director doesn't have a clue how to write a fucking story. And I really don't like to harp on creative people. There's obviously a lot of effort and time put into this, but this movie sucks. I'm sorry, Mr. Pinero.
There is no redeeming qualities to this movie.
Anyway, as we said,
sorry, I take that back. It was filmed in 4K, so that's
it?
nice. Yeah, that's nice.
It's a waste of 4K.
It certainly is. It was written to a Blu-ray DVD as well. And it was sold as a Blu-ray.
That was wishful thinking.
That was, wasn't it?
Anyway, let's talk about this scene with the dad. It's the first time she's met her dad her entire life. She's 20 fucking whatever.
Who
And
something blah.
they're sitting across a dinner table, and I don't know, that's very stilted. And she goes, "I've got 10 questions I wrote down for you." "Oh, can I write down 10 questions?" Dad says. "Yes, you can." And then they just go back and forth, and the actor who plays the dad is.
Do you believe in genetics?
What else did they say? What else questions do they have? I can't remember now. It's just.
Was your mum happy? Okay, yes.
Did have you ever mentioned me to anybody? No, because I don't want you in my life. So she spends the night, and the next day she gets up, says something, and goes, "Okay, bye. I'm going to walk to the train station. Don't even think about driving me to the train station. I'm out of here." She walks out, and he goes the other way. "You stupid."
Oh, I wish you'd said that.
This movie should be a comedy, because I would have just taken ripped the piss out of this entire plot. So she takes the train back, so she didn't need a car after all. She receives another postcard from Danielle, because that's all that Danielle can do. She doesn't use a phone or email. She sends postcards.
Yeah,
and she wants Camilla in Montana. Blah blah blah. We go to a 3 months before flashback then for some reason, and
I wrote down 3 months before, and then in brackets, more boring shite. And that's all I could write for that, because there was nothing interesting. There was something about gloves.
The gloves were a motif that were forgotten about halfway through the movie.
Because they were irrelevant.
Yeah, there's a close-up on them when they leave Argentina, and then at some point she's given gloves by a random girl on a bench. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
In New York.
It was almost like the gloves were going to be a big thing.
Actually,
because it really focuses in on them.
Yeah, they're not.
3 times they come up, and they're irrelevant.
They are irrelevant. Actually, before the 3 months before flashback, because the 3 months before flashback ends the movie, but we get Lucas's and Camilla's end of their storyline. He meets her outside, and they go, "Let's go and live somewhere else." Okay.
That's it. And that's a weird, that's a conversation about living in a different city in America, and it's 2 lines.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right. Here's how I would have made this movie. Are you ready?
You wouldn't have made this movie.
Well, if somebody says, "Mr. Piñeiro, he's stuck in traffic. He's stuck in traffic for 3 months. He can't make this movie, so you have to do it. You're an idiot on the street." I would have, there could be a love rectangle, it doesn't matter, whatever, but I would have focused it's called Hermia and Helena.
Yeah.
Okay. The director has tried to make it a love rectangle triangle, like the plot in Midsummer Night's Dream. Here's the synopsis of the plot from Midsummer Night's Dream, just in case you have not got anything educational from this episode, because we've just hated on a movie for the last 28 minutes. Hermia loves Lysander, right? And Lysander loves Hermia, but Hermia's father wants her to marry Demetrius. Helena loves Demetrius, but Demetrius loves Hermia and ignores Helena. Hermia and Lysander plan to elope into the forest. They tell Helena, who tells Demetrius, hoping to gain his affection. So all 4 end up in the forest. Oberon, the fairy king, tries to help Helena by having Puck, famous character, his servant, use a love potion on Demetrius. However, Puck mistakenly applies it to Lysander, making Lysander fall in love with Helena. Now, Lysander and Demetrius both love Helena, leaving Hermia devastated. After some chaos, Puck eventually corrects the mistake, restoring Lysander's love for Hermia. Demetrius remains in love with Helena due to the potion's effect. The story ends happily with both couples, Hermia and Lysander, and Helena and Demetrius being together.
But that doesn't happen in this movie at all.
No,
it's a straight line.
Yeah, but take this fucking plot. Yeah, take this plot. Take this outline of fucking Hermia and Helena's plot from A Midsummer Night's Dream and use it. Don't make another abstract piece of shit in New York. Use this one. And actually, at the end of Midsummer Night's Dream, they're in the prince's or the king's castle, whatever, and they put on a play, and the play is full of errors, and they fuck it up. Amazing opportunity for this. Camilla is doing a translation of the thing. Do it with shitty actors, and she struggles through. She puts on the play at the end to mirror the Midsummer Night's Dream plot. It sucks. It's actually, people are laughing at it. and then people start laughing with the actors, and so it becomes a successful thing. It's sort of like, oh shit, this wasn't a comedy, but actually now the way it's been done and the way it's been shittily translated, it's been good because it's a comedy now and people are enjoying it, and we can see Camilla at the side of the stage
like
smiling.
The directors.
Yeah. And so we see the end shot. The end shot is Camilla at the side of the stage with Lucas in the crowd, and they look at each other and go, "Yeah, this is a good adventure."
Yeah, well, listen, that makes perfect sense, and that gives some sort of value to having the book referenced in it so heavily. The play referenced so heavily, but it's referenced heavily, and then the story, which should mimic Midsummer's Night, has nothing to do with it other than one girl bones a few lads. That's not the same. There's no conflict. There's no strife. There's no arc. There's no redemption. There's no nothing.
But she doesn't even do that anyway. She meets a guy on the bench and kisses him, and then
with
Lucas she strokes his hair. Like, so there's no depth to the romance story anyway. And not that
it's not even saucy. No,
it's not saucy. So evolve the original storyline from Midsummer Night's Dream, and you've got it. You don't have to mess around. What, like, your dad, Argentina? Like, I know you're from Argentina, Mr. Piñeiro, but there's other ways to do this.
There's a bunch of things that could have been expanded upon and made interesting, and have a reasonable dialogue about. But actually, the dialogue kills it straight from the start, though, really, doesn't it?
Yes. Now, the only redeeming factor is the fact that I believe the random universe that we created has created links many times throughout our episodes, and this episode and this movie is no exception. I told you a little hint at the start. I didn't tell you what the connection was before we hit record. So the actor who plays Greg and the actor who plays Lucas were extras in Wild Canaries.
Oh, that was a decidedly less than average movie, and it was so much better than this.
Episode 28, Wild Canaries. Both of them play Man on Cell Phone.
Really? That's about the level, really, isn't it?
I think they should probably, that's the height of their acting skills. Like, they're
able to operate a cell phone. Well done.
Yeah, I give credit to all creatives and people that put themselves out there in the arts, but you put yourselves out there for critics like us to shit on you. I'm sorry. So I hope you're having great careers now. I looked at the IMDb's. There's a lot of them have lots of roles and lots of movies, indie movies, I think. So I hope they're having a good time. But this movie didn't hit the mark for me.
But this doesn't actually. Listen, the reason why I feel okay with shitting so heavily on this movie is its position in the Metacritic score of 2090, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2090.
That ain't right.
It actually went up to 2089 during the week because of movies that movie comes in and out of the Metacritic's list. Yeah, I think Metacritic need to look at their formula and their parameters for putting movies into their list, because I think this one has 12 professional critic reviews, and I think you have to get above a certain number to be put into the list, and maybe it should be higher. Maybe it should, but I don't know. Who am I to say? I gave the plot 0.
That's fair. I give it 0.25 because somebody wrote something down. So I give them marks, They put their name on the paper. And stuck a title on it. Well done, you tried. The plot is shocking. It's flat, it's empty. Yeah.
I think this is my first 0 in 53 episodes. So, but I felt really strongly about this. Like, I think even Wild Canaries has something to it. I can't remember what I gave for the plot of that, but I'm guessing it's 1 or 2 or something. But yeah,
there's a reasonable plot in Wild Canaries. There's kidnapping and there's real danger in it. And there's an arc. So yeah, that deserves points. This they don't really try. There is no story.
I guess to save time, I gave acting, soundtrack, and production 0.25, all of them. So
yeah, same as.
All right, so 0.25 is all along.
Yeah, the music I was tempted to to drop to 0 because it was
same.
highly annoying. But I felt, I don't know, I felt bad of putting 0 anywhere. I probably should have just put zeros the whole way through.
Yeah.
The acting is woeful,
Yeah.
flat. But then the
Yeah.
dialogue is just shocking. So if even if you had better actors, it would have been awful.
Yeah, I give 0.25 for production for that. The introductory camera shot. That's quite interesting, going from the different slices of life around New York City from the vantage point of a balcony. That
Yeah,
could
but
be
that's
nice, but it
wiped
wasn't.
out
Yeah, it's wiped out.
by the, especially that bloody scene where she's going from Buenos Aires to America, and the overlay and the music, and it's like, oh, why? Just no. What are you doing?
Yeah. Nick Allen at RogerEbert.com said Hermia and Helena's touch and go approach weakens the movie's key expression of being a relatable story about being lost during your late 20s, early 30s. He gave it 50 out of 100. I just want to. Guy Lodge in Variety gave it 60. With its tricksy timeline and weight for subplots, the film feels unduly stretched even to reach its modest length, while our dramaturgy fixated protagonist is slow to stumble into a compelling arc of her own. I don't think she stumbles into any arc of her own, to be honest.
What arc?
Yeah. Now, the top one, like Boston Globe, I don't know, Mark Feeney, I don't know, he must be on hallucinogens or something. He gave it 100.
Christ, on my bike.
That's how the gifted young Argentine writer-director Matías Piñeiro makes his movies, in a style that seems casual and feels sure-handed. Casual and sure-handed being about as good a combination as artistry in any medium has to offer. I don't know. I need to read the full review. That's a terrible snippet. I just want to see the New Yorker. Richard Brody in the New Yorker gave it 90. Filming cityscapes and intimate gestures with avid attention, adorning the dialogue with deep confessions and witty asides. Piñeiro.
Christ.
Piñeiro conjures a cogently realistic yet gloriously imaginative vision of youthful ardor in love and art alike. I really think sometimes there's a clique, a social inside circle that goes, yeah, just give this movie up some points, will you? I'm in the production company. Here's a 10 note.
There has to be. I can't see how any of that relates to this movie.
It's just a lot of words. A lot of these journalists will write words in a sentence, and it looks very professional and sincere and artistic. But it's just like another guy says, it's like exhaustive in its means of keeping the viewer off balance and yet rich in its emotional implications. That's Slant Magazine's Carson Lund. Like, yeah,
Nope.
no. I don't even have.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't even have a metaphor to close this episode, so it's not worth it. So I'm not going to do one.
Well, you say Finn like it did at the end of this movie.
Yeah, exactly. What I will do though, after I immediately basically said, after I watched this last night, I said, okay, we're randomly just going to choose the next episode to be a top 10 listeners' movie choice. So at least we might enjoy a movie that's maybe classic, maybe not, but we'll see. So our good friend Andrew down in Australia, he gave me his top 10 a few months ago, actually, but I staved off a little bit because randomly we got Krull, and that's in his top 10 movies. Andrew's top 10 in no particular order is RoboCop, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Blade Runner, Conan the Barbarian, Hudsucker Proxy, Big Trouble in Little China, Krull, The Terminator, The Pick of Destiny, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So we're going to randomize a number now and just see what we get. If we get 7, then... All right, we get number 2. It's Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, nice. So
Great
that's
movie.
good. Yeah, thank you very much, Andrew, for saving us from another random indie movie. So let me just find the summary of it, and we'll just end off on that one. Okay, so obviously people might know the synopsis of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but it is for 3 men, the Civil War wasn't hell, it was practice. Clint Eastwood returns as the man with no name, this time teaming with 2 gunslingers, Lee Van Cleef and Ely Wallach, to pursue a cache of $200,000 and letting no one, not even warring factions in a civil war, stand in their way. Directed by Sergio Leone, starring the people I just mentioned. So it's got a meta score of 90 and a user score of 9.1. So it's definitely up there with the movies that we've touched upon, like the Godfather and Lawrence of Arabia, with the depths of quality that it has.
Yeah, it's a super. I was going to say cult classic. It is not a cult classic. It is a classic. It is, and it is like iconic in so many ways. The music, the music.
Yeah, absolutely. So we look forward to that. It is another longy one, though.
I'm okay with that. For a movie like this, I can take a sneak 2.5 to 45 or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, 241. Yeah,
241. Cool.
It's fine. It'll be a pleasure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to convince my wife to watch it with me, but
yeah, it's a tough sort of slog if you're not into westerns, I guess. But
I'm absolutely not into westerns. I'll be honest, but this is different in my mind. It's
a classic of cinema
great
history.
Piece of cinema, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good episode to have in our back catalogue of episodes. So we'll stop right there. Thank you very much. So please keep on liking us and reviewing us on all the podcast platforms that you listen to us on. And we'll see you in episode 54 for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Bye-bye.
Ta-ra.